Hey guys, Alan here, and you're watching the Gibson Garage YouTube channel. Did not come with the Thanks for joining, and if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, please hit that subscribe button. You can also find me at my Instagram at GG Speed Shop, or my Facebook is Gibson Garage. On my Instagram, you can find posts of just pictures mostly of the stuff that I do daily, so you'll be more up to date on the projects. Won't be any videos, but you'll have some photos. So today, we've got to get back on this Intrepid so we can get it out of here. Now, for those of you who've been following for a long time, you may remember, oh gosh, it's probably been 2 years, but I helped a friend bring over 2 cars to the house. I towed over 2 cars, and it was the Corolla and the Intrepid. She brought over the Corolla to do a complete AC system in it, and that video's out as well if you want to watch a complete AC system rebuild on a Toyota Corolla. Okay, yeah, now the Corolla's back. She's driving it, and the radiator hose blew up on her. So this guy is down, and I'm trying to get this one up and running so she has a car to drive. So at the time, she was living in these apartments that was getting kind of angry about her having this broke down Intrepid in her, apartment complex. So the deal was that I would get this Intrepid and get it out of her parking lot in exchange for buying all the parts and installing them on the Corolla, right? She gets AC in a running car, and she gets rid of another car, and she didn't have to do anything. No, but that's great, because I was going to use the car as AJ's first car, my 16-year-old. So I bought headlights for it because they were trashed. There was a code. I put a leak detection pump on it. No videos on anything I did here. I was just trying to work on it and get it done. I put a whole water pump and timing belt kit on it from AutoZone. Complete kit came with, or I bought this too separately. So the entire coolant system is brand new, thermostat and everything. So it sits for a while because AJ is too young to drive legally. Right, and I just kind of sit on it for a while until I feel like doing more work on it. I was gonna make a bumper, maybe try to do something different with the bumper. I was trying to find Viper bumpers, that they used to make them. I don't know if they were just scams or trolling thumbnails, but the thumbnails, the pictures were out there, but nobody was selling them anymore. They all seem to be discontinued. So I had plans for this car, for AJ's first car, but he didn't want it. Turns out it was ugly. So then I get a call saying her Corolla breaks down, right? She wanted me to look it over, so she had it towed over here, and it's got a blown head gasket. It's pretty trashed. When you're cranking it, it's blowing coolant out of the bottom hose, like with the compression. So she's a friend, and I'm not trying to make a ton of money off of her, so I made a deal, said I'll give you back the Intrepid for the Corolla, because I've got this idea for the Corolla that doesn't really need that engine. It might need something more like that, just as a toy, to play around with. And that way she would have a car, and I still have, a toy car to play with. Because when AJ didn't want it, my plan also was to just turn it into a drag car. Because it's still an inline front wheel drive. The motor's still facing this way, and the transmission, and there's so much weight over the front axle. I thought it might be a good front wheel drive drag car, but that's all in the past now. We're doing something different now with the Corolla. So anyway, we are buttoning up things on the Intrepid to get it roadworthy. I don't know if it happened while it was sitting, somehow it rusted out because I had replaced all the water out of it. There is the Dorman part number. It had gotten a hole in a coolant pipe. Now you may recognize this if you've ever done a thermostat. Okay, this piece comes off of your thermostat housing. And that sits right down there under the alternator. I'll get some light in there in a second, but your thermostat's right down there. And right off your housing comes this short piece of hose with this metal pipe. Now my metal pipe has a rusted hole right in the bottom, peed out all the stuff. Just terrible. I had it all buttoned up, all fresh coolant, and then it goes and rusts out and leaks it all over the place. And I gotta drop more money into it, you know, before giving it away, which is another downside. But we're gonna get this thing back together, so stick in there. We'll see what it takes. So my game plan was to start with, or is still, to start with taking this whole cowl piece off. I wanna see if I can get how much of this metal bracket actually comes off and how much vision I can get in there. Everything's mostly on this side anyway. It goes from the pipe here, it goes up, and you can barely see this bolt that attaches to the transmission or something. And then there's a T right here, and this hose goes to the bottom of this tank right down under here, and this hose goes back to the heater core on the firewall. So we're going to start by grabbing the Torx bit, getting all these little bolts out, these little screws, and this is a plastic clip, so there's probably just a nut under there, probably 13, just like all these are going to be 13. Let's see what happens. So the long ones go up here, it looks like. So by the way, the wiper blade, the wiper arms were 15s. These are 13s. Goodness. Well, it looks like we'll be able to get in there. See, I think I'm gonna remove this. If it'll come out easy, it looks like it's just one bolt there, 2 bolts there. Ow! Come on, you. Well, now with that out of the way, we've got a lot more room. I just feel a lot more comfortable in here. You can move wires here's the hose, the one hose. So we'll just grab a clamp, take that off, and see if we can get to the bolt down there that holds the metal pipe on. Now these are designed to lock open when you see this peg and this hole, but I also think it takes some special pliers that don't have. I've gotten it to hook up before on accident. Oh, kinda. Oh, no. I'm seeing the pliers on the slit. I hate these clamps. I don't know. Ooh, be gentle. Be placing the heater core. No, let's not risk it. So if you get a mechanic's pick, you can get in here and try to break it loose this way. Oh, see, yeah, that was a sticky spot. You're also going to need to take your reservoir out and disconnect the tube or the hose underneath. But I believe mine's already disconnected. Yeah, that would be this tube here. Alright, so there's the end of the coolant pipe. There's two hose clamps, and they go right into the thermostat housing. Now, I had to take off the oil filter to get pliers to it because I don't have the right pliers. I'm wondering if maybe those double action pliers, long reach needle nose that swivel in two spots, might do the trick. You just get it from out here, just kind of sneak in there, you know. But as for me, I gotta take this filter off again. So a little word to the wise. Be careful once you go tugging on. You'll end up with broken vacuum lines. These are brittle. Hard emissions tubing is what it's called. But if you're not gentle, you'll just break the heck out of all of it. So now I've got to replace all this plastic lines because I breathed on it. Unfortunately, that's going to have to be it for the night. It's a sour note to end the night on. Top of another even sourer note. My wife just smashed her finger in the car door. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, it was bad. She had to open the door back up to get it out. It was like stuck. So I've got to haul it in for the night because I got to make some dinner. I'm calling DoorDash. So there's the clip that held the transmission cable on, the shift cable. Right over here on the other side, there's a nut. Can't even get light on it. Yeah, that nut there. And you don't even have to take it all the way out. You just got to loosen it, and then the pipe will slide off. I just got to fish it out of this connector or all this wiring harness, and like it's not gonna fit between the cat and the manifold, so I guess it's got to go down to the motor mount. Nice. I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but cut all these wires off, or hoses, not wires. Don't cut wires. Okay, now what are we stuck on? Wiring's out of the way. Hose is completely loose now, or tubing assembly thingy. Now we just gotta get past this dipstick transmission tube. Transmission dipstick tube. You know what? That guy might not have been kidding when he said the transmission has to come out. Or dealer says transmission has to come out. Okay, so it's definitely more maneuverable with the hoses off and cut, but this doesn't mean I'm getting it out of here. Stupid everything is in the way. Now, I've got to remember that I got to get the new one back in. Transmission has to come out. Better not. I don't get it. This isn't coming this way. I can't get around the tie rod. And I can't get around the dipstick tube, so let me try to take the dipstick tube out, because I think it's the only option is sliding it back towards the firewall. Okay, well, I'm gonna take more stuff out, just because I don't see any other way of doing it. The dipstick tube's gonna have to come out for sure. I mean, because you gotta remember, the new part's gotta go in. You can't just cut everything up and bring it out in pieces. So I'm gonna take off the, luckily you can just take off one side, and I'm gonna take off this this half of the Y pipe, disconnect the oxygen sensor, and there's a flange at the back, at the front of the muffler, that I can take apart there. Then I can get to the dipstick tube and take it off. Okay, this one's off. 10 mil deep socket. I just gotta get the one on bottom. Okay, so this hanger bolt is a 15. This flange bolt strap. What type of clamp is a strap clamp? I can't believe it eventually worked. I was just about to give up too. There we go. Glued. Well, maybe that's all I have to do. Yeah, we're good. Nope. There's the cat's butt up against the front, so. Well, I wish I would have kept you guys in there just a second longer, but I just wiggled it and slid it in the muffler a little further, and it finally dropped. And plenty of room to get that pipe out of there. Well, at least as far as the cat goes. That thing's like stuck solid. Why? Alright, so I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I just bent this a little bit, and it started to feel like it was coming out, so grab the camera. Oh, yeah, it's out. Here it is. That's what was leaking. Well, that wasn't so bad. Just had to take out everything. Plastic cowl, the metal cowl, the windshield wiper bracket, the wiper arms, coolant box, half the exhaust. Or should I say just one cat. You don't need to disconnect the oxygen sensor. There's plenty of slack because it's not coming all the way out. Well, I had to clean it up real quick. this in place so I can go underneath, tighten up the exhaust, do everything I need to do underneath. Then I can lower it back down and finish the job up here. Oh, a thing to note here. You see my clamp on this? How it's facing the head? It won't let the whole assembly move back or move towards the front enough to get the bracket in place on the nut. So I just gotta rotate the clamp, but you know, pay attention. This piece of hose on to the vacuum line back there, the metal tube. I'll take that back. No clamps? Oh, come on. Plug it in first, don't forget to do that. Well, I think I'm going to cut the video here, guys. I don't have any coolant on me right now, and I've got other work to do on it anyway before I even start it up. I've got to fix an oil leak. It's pretty nasty under there. I've been cleaning, doing a lot of cleaning, because I got to replace this oil cooler line that is connected to the sensor here. Over here on this side, this oil pressure sensor is probably what it is. But that's where I'm gonna be, but that's gonna be another video. So that's gonna do it, guys. Thanks for watching, and do me a favor, please hit that like button and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want. Thanks for watching.